Hi everyone, I'm glad you're keeping up with your physics study. In this video, I want to share one of my favorite problems from this topic. Normally, Newton's second law and SUVAT are tested separately, but here they are blended together, and that's why I like it. Don't worry if that sounds intimidating. We will break it down step by step, just like we would in a tutoring session. Take a moment now, pause the video, read through the questions, and if you like, try solving it on your own first. If you find the question confusing and aren't sure what equations to use, don't worry, that's normal. Let's start by pulling out key pieces of information and figuring out what the question is really testing. The first phrase is initially at rest. That means the initial velocity u is 0. This phrase pops up frequently in SUVAT problems. Next, the question asks for the speed of the object at the bottom. That's the final velocity v, since the object slides down a slope. The speed at the bottom is indeed its final velocity. Then we see a slope of length 50 meters. That's the distance traveled, so s equals to 50 meters. At this point, we are almost certain that there is the SUVAT component here. In a typical SUVAT question, you are given three quantities and asked to find a fourth. We know s, u, and v is a target, so we still need one more quantity, either a, acceleration, or t, time. Let's see if we can find one of them from the question. Look at this. The mass of the object is 10 kg, and the net force is 40 newtons. The phrase net force should ring a bell. Newton's second law. And here is something important. I'll say again and again. You can only plug the net force, or resultant force, into F equals to ma. Let's move on to the logic chain and write down the sequence of reasoning we will follow for answering the question. The first step is to apply Newton's second law, F equals ma, to find a, the acceleration of the object. From the question interpretation, we've already found s, u, and we are getting a from Newton's second law. So we've gathered sufficient information to solve for SUVAT equation. If you want to challenge yourself, just hit pause, and we will compare answers in a sec. The first step is to apply Newton's second law, F equals to ma. Plug in numbers and rearrange the equation, and we get acceleration equals to 4 meters per second square. The second step is to use SUVAT equation. We know s equals to 50 seconds, u is 0, acceleration is 4, and we want v. We pick this equation. V squared equals to u squared plus 2as, because it contains u, v, a, and s, and it contains no t. Then we plug in numbers, and we get v, 20 meters per second. The answer is A. Let's have a quick recap. In this video, you have learned how to identify SUVAT questions clue. When you see phrases like initially at rest or come to rest, you should ring the bell. For Newton's second law, the signal phrase is net force or resultant force. However, many questions do not give the net force right away like this question does. Most of the time, you'll be given individual forces acting on the object, such as the push force or friction, and you'll need to work out the net force by yourself and plug it into F equals ma equation. Was this question the right difficulty for you? Let me know in the comments. Your feedback not only helps me improve, but also helps everyone who watches this video learn more effectively.